Yo, what's up, my friends? It's your boy Steve from Straight Fire Picks, back with your best bets for college football in week number 7, Friday and Saturday. We got you covered from October 10th to October 11th, 2025. We're going to have spreads and totals here for you today. We're going to have 5 picks total in the video with a for the Sweep Parlay valued at plus 2,700. Let's lock in and get a sweep here in week 7 of college football.
Well, my presence isn't real. It's another bad one like this is scale. It's straight fire, all my bets straight from. You're in the house that cat made now. Straight fire.
As always, my friends, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Always appreciate that on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Appreciate all of your guys' support as always. Let's get right after it here in week number 7 in college football. Let's start with a recap from last week. We ended up going 2-3, minus 1.28 units. Obviously, was not our best week. Been a little bit of a slow start here for us in college football. But I really thought it should have been much better. Obviously, Michigan, minus 16.5 versus Wisconsin, was covering late. And then Kentucky, obviously, Wisconsin got a late touchdown to avoid our cover there. And then the under 48.5 points in the Georgia-Kentucky game was also going to hit, and Kentucky went for it on 4th down, ended up converting and getting a touchdown late as well to hit 49 points right on the dot. So that obviously hurt. We did cash Texas Tech, minus 11, and we also cashed Alabama, minus, I think it was 12.5 off the top, or 11.5. But overall, like I said, not like a terrible week, but obviously we want to do much better than that. So hopefully we could do that this week. This week has actually been a pretty good week for us in the NFL and baseball. As far as parlays go, we've cashed 3 parlays since Sunday. We cashed a plus 1264 touchdown parlay. We cashed a baseball parlay on Monday. We swept baseball, so we cashed that parlay. And we cashed a big parlay last night, plus 3,500. In the Eagles-Giants game. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come this weekend, and we can get a cash here in college football and get a sweep at college football, I believe, guys. So it's been a pretty big week overall as far as parlays go. As far as our comment cappers last week, didn't have any calls in the chat that hit, but make sure you guys are dropping your favorite pick for this week. Put a star on asterisk next to your pick, and we'll include your pick in our next video if it hits, as always. One last thing, just check out the pinned comment description. Any links you guys are looking for here around the channel in regards to membership, merchandise, social media links, it's all down below in the pinned comment description. Outside of that, let's get after it this week, guys. Let's get the sweep in college football. Let's get right into our picks at number 1. We are going with the Ohio State Buckeyes, minus 14 spread here versus the Illinois Fighting Illini. Minus 115 odds here on Fanatics. Really like this look on Ohio State, guys. Illinois just doesn't do it for me. We saw them lose 63-10 to Indiana. Obviously, they beat USC. They beat Purdue. Those wins are okay. They won narrowly at home versus USC, which is okay. But you're taking on the number 1 team in the nation, Ohio State, and they very much look like it as well. This team has been pretty dominant on both sides of the ball, but particularly on the defensive end. They've only allowed 25 points for the entire season. And it's not like they haven't played anybody. They played Texas in week 1, and they also played Washington as well up in Washington. And they've only given up 25 points for the entire season, which is crazy good. So obviously I think Illinois is going to have some trouble there. They average just 3.7 yards per carry, so they're a very one-dimensional offense. Now, you know how good their pass offense is with Luke Altmaier, but that's not going to be enough here. You have to be able to do both versus Ohio State. If you can't establish any type of run game and you become one-dimensional versus them, they're going to force you into a lot of tough situations, and they're going to really be able to pin their ears back and obviously do what they do. Like I said, their defense has been electric this season. So my big consensus was, if this Illinois team can lose 63-10 to Indiana, they could certainly lose by 14 plus to number 1 Ohio State. That's obviously not a big stretch at all. So, like I said, the defense has been dominant. Their offense has also been really good as well. Julian Sand has gotten off to a really good start this season, completing 80% of his passes. He's posted a QBR of 86.8 this season. That's 8th in college football, so you love to see that. Wide receiver Jeremiah Smith is going to be a lottery pick, so you guys know what you got there. He's going to be torching this Illinois secondary. And that's been the real problem for Illinois' defense. Has been their pass defense has been absolutely horrible. They were bad versus USC, and they were bad also versus Indiana, obviously, as well. So I think this is going to be a situation where Ohio State's going to be able to take big-time advantage of that secondary. That's had to deal with a lot of injuries, and the production has been horrible, really, so far this season. So I think, once again, Ohio State gets to them, guys. I think this is just too tough of a spot. Give me the Ohio State Buckeyes, minus 14 spread here versus Illinois, minus 115 odds here on Fanatics. Okay, and at number 2, we're going with the Oklahoma Sooners money line here versus the Texas Longhorns. We got minus 108 odds here on FanDuel, risking a unit here. So probably the biggest takeaway of the season is Texas is now unranked. They just dropped a game last week to Florida. They lost, obviously, the opener to Ohio State. It's safe to say that they were terribly overrated coming into the season. Particularly, I hate to say it, particularly Arch Manning. He was particularly overrated to start the season. This guy was supposed to be a Heisman frontrunner, and he's looked like anything but that. He's 70th in QBR versus big-time competition this season versus Florida and Ohio State. He's 33 of 59 passing the ball, just over 50% with 3 interceptions. So to say this guy has looked pedestrian at best is definitely an understatement. He's obviously not had a very good season so far. Not going to get easier versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma literally is probably the best defense in college football right now. Up there with Ohio State. You could argue Ohio State obviously is too, but Oklahoma's right there. Oklahoma has played some stiff competition already in Michigan and Auburn and shut both those teams down for the most part. Played very well versus those teams. So once again, I think this defense is set up to do very well versus Arch Manning, which, like I said, the only times he's looked somewhat decent was versus very, very bad competition. Sam Houston State. But even in those games, it was worth noting, even on some of those touchdown passes that he had in those games, even when you were watching the highlights, balls were still behind receivers. It still wasn't that great. Statistically, it may have been, but as far as from a passing standpoint, it didn't look great. So, Texas defense is good. I'm not going to complain too much about their defense. Texas is very good. But if you're giving me 2 teams right now, I think Oklahoma's on a different trajectory right now. That's obvious. And they got a lot more momentum with them. Texas already feels like their season's over, right? Already with 2 losses. So Oklahoma has a lot to play for. I trust quarterback John Mateer a lot more. Got a chance to see him play a couple times this season versus Auburn and Michigan. I watched both those games. And I like what I see from John Mateer. He definitely passes the eye test. And like I said, he's played against very good competition as well so far this season. He is listed on the injury report as probable, but fully expecting him, obviously, to play. This is a big-time game. He will play for the Red River rivalry. I expect Oklahoma here to be able to do very well in this game and be able to win here. So, love it there for number 2 pick, guys. We got the Oklahoma Sooners money line here versus the Texas Longhorns. Minus 108 odds here on FanDuel. Okay, and at number 3, we got South Florida, North Texas. First half, under 33.5 points. We got minus 110 odds here on DraftKings, risking a unit here. So we're going to go after the first half under. I really like this one this week. These are 2 pretty prolific offenses, as you can tell probably by the total set to 67.5 for the full game. Obviously, first half here we got 33.5, but I really like the total here, especially in the first half. I don't think we're going to see as much offense as you think we're going to see. These 2 defenses can also play. USF allowing 24.5 points per game. North Texas 25 points per game. So these are 2 capable defenses. They're not the greatest, but they're certainly solid. And I think they'll be able to slow these offenses down enough to keep this kind of scoring from happening. This total is just very, very high. Which is why I want to take a look here and obviously try to go after the under here. USF games so far this season, 3-2 to the under 33.5 in the first half. There's been a couple games that actually broken out in the third quarter, but under 33.5 is 3-2 so far, which is good considering they really haven't played. They played Florida. That game ended 18-16. So obviously that almost went under for the full game. So I think we could see a little bit more grinding it out here, though. While both offenses are going to have their success, I do like the under here to hit, guys. You got quarterbacks, obviously. Byron Brown for USF has obviously had a very good start to the season so far. Quarterback North Texas, Drew Mestamaker, obviously leading the North Texas offense as well. But I think that both defenses here are going to be able to slow these offenses down enough to keep the scoring down enough in this one for us to be able to cash this line. I mean, it could still be a high-scoring first half, and I'll still hit the under. It could be 17-14 at halftime. That works. It could be 20-13. You know, there's still a lot of good, I think, opportunity in this one to cash. So, love it there, guys. For number 3 pick, we're going with the South Florida North Texas first half under 33.5 points, minus 110 odds here on DraftKings. Okay, and at number 4, we are picking a team that was very good to us last week. We're going with Texas Tech Red Raiders, minus 14 on the spread here versus Kansas, minus 115 odds on Fanatics, risking a unit here. So as far as the eye test goes, Texas Tech has passed every test for me. Just watching them versus Houston last week, completely dominate that game start to finish, 35-11. And then seeing what they did also in Utah, completely dominating that game as well, 34-10. There's a lot here to like with Texas Tech. They've blown out a lot of opponents so far this season. Kansas is supposedly supposed to be a better opponent, obviously, with quarterback Jalen Daniels there of Kansas. But overall, Texas Tech has such a much better defense than Kansas does. Texas Tech, one of the best defenses in the nation as well. They are 6th in points allowed per game this season. They've been very dominant on that side of the ball. Already seen them shut down big opponents in Houston and Utah, as previously mentioned. And Kansas ranks 52nd in scoring defense. They left a lot to be desired, to be allowing 37 points to Cincinnati and 42 to Missouri. So when they went up against good competition, they gave up points. So I think, once again, that's obviously going to happen for Tech. Tech, no doubt in my mind, is going to score a lot of points here. It's how many does Kansas score, and I don't think they score enough to cover 14. I really don't. I think they're going to have a hard time, especially in that environment at Texas Tech. No way. I think Tech blows them out the building, and really like Texas Tech here to cover here in this one. So, love it there, guys. For number 4 pick, we got Texas Tech minus 14 on the spread here versus Kansas, minus 115 odds here on Fanatics. Okay, and finally at number 5, we got the over 63.5 points in the Air Force UNLV game. This is minus 115 odds here on Fanatics. So we got two defenses that really don't play much defense, particularly Air Force, though. Air Force literally plays no defense. The worst in all of college football in yards allowed per play at 8.5. I mean, teams are almost averaging a first down every play. You know what I mean? They're almost averaging 10 yards per play, which is crazy when you think about it. That's wild. UNLV, not that much better. They're ranked 71st in yards allowed per play, so both defenses leave a lot to be desired there, obviously. Air Force game so far 5-0 to the over with a plus 21.9 differential. So not only are they going over, they're going way over. That's number 1 in all of college football as far as covering overs, which obviously is great. I think that goes to 6-0 obviously in this spot here. UNLV is 2-3 to the overs, but they actually still hold a plus 5 differential, which when you consider they're just 2-3 is kind of impressive there as well. So both these teams could score. I expect that to happen once again today in this one. And both defenses are pretty bad as well. If you look at offensively, I didn't even mention their offensive stats. Both teams rank inside the top 50 for yards per play. Air Force is at 12th, UNLV at 45th. So obviously that's pretty good there as well. Air Force is a team that you're going to see look to run first, but they can hit the plays with Cesarca, who can certainly use his arm. He ranks 9th highest in QBR in college football. He doesn't throw the ball a ton. He likes to run it a lot. His team likes to run it a lot. But when he does throw it, he is usually throwing for 30-plus yard plays and touchdowns and stuff like that. So they set it all up, and then they can hit you with the big play, obviously, there. UNLV has scored 30-plus in every game so far this year, so they'll look for that for me to be closer to 40-plus in this one versus a very bad Air Force team. Same thing here with the Air Force guys. They've scored 30-plus in every game this season. I think they could also get up near that number as well. This could be a very high-scoring game. So, Love it there, guys, for number 5 pick. We're going with the over 63.5 points in the Air Force UNLV game, minus 115 odds on Fanatics. And then, of course, guys, our For the Sweep Parlay, valued at plus 27.37 odds on Fanatics with our profit boost. Love this one, obviously. We've been hitting parlays this week. We've hit 3 parlays this week, like as previously mentioned. So I think college football is due. I think we can hit this one as well and make some buco units. We can make about 3 units on this. Risking a 10th of a unit. We're not getting too crazy, but obviously looking to make some money there. All right, that's it for our picks. If you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button. Outside of that, we got a lot of content coming out here this weekend, so make sure you guys keep tabs on our NFL content. We'll have, obviously, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, NFL Week 6 best bets from the 1 and 4 o'clock games. We also already have our spreads and totals video live as well, where we break down every spread and total for the week in Week 6 in the NFL. Outside of that, guys, it's going to do it for me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.